name is St-Laurent, reporting for the Vancouver Sun about the upcoming provincial elections. I interviewed the candidates for the Port Moody-Coquitlam constituency. I interviewed Linda Reimer for the Liberals, Joe Trasolini for the NDP, and unfortunately I wasn't able to reach Billy Helps for the Green Party. What one word would you describe the NDP party? Sorry.
Socialist.
What about the Conservatives?
Unrealistic.
The Greens?
Green or environment.
What word would you use to describe the BC Liberal Party?
It's a party.
And what about the Conservatives?
Establishment.
What about the Greens?
Environment.
Considered to be the top issue affecting your community?
The economy is the first issue because without a thriving economy, we don't have funds to apply to health, education, affordable housing, and that sort of thing. So the economy is top.
What would your party do to address it if you win?
To address the economy? Well, actually, we have begun that process already and have done so for the last 10 years. We increased 20,000 jobs in our British Columbia economy last month. Those statistics came from StatsCan. There were 46,000 new jobs created across Canada, and 28,000 of those were in British Columbia. So our BC Jobs Plan is of prime importance.
All right, what do you consider to be the top issue affecting your community?
Well, when I think of my community, I think of the British Columbia community because we are talking about provincial politics, and I think that when we talk about what business throughout this province is speaking to us about, it is in fact the reality that we are losing the efficiency in business, the number of trained workers, young people. We don't have trained young people to fill the jobs of the present, the jobs of the future, and productivity has been going down.
What would your party do to address it if you win?
So we want to reimpose the minimum 2% tax on banks, financial institutions, and the $100 million that comes out of that, we want to reinvest in post-secondary education and skill training in the way of trying to help students with paying their tuition fees and by way of non-repayable grants. And,
the biggest mistake your party has made?
I don't believe the party has actually made any mistakes. Certainly the ethnic gate has just happened. There were some staff involved with that. The Premier has apologized. We don't condone that type of behavior. When you're in government, you're there to serve all taxpayers and all constituents, not just your party. And so what happened was very wrong. The Premier's apologized and want to move on.
I think probably in the past, when the NDP party has received the mandate from the electorate, probably trying to do too much too soon.
What are your plans to deal with the high cost of housing?
One of the ways that we can deal with that is by densifying and providing more units at a lower cost.
I believe the British Columbia government needs to take the leadership role at the table and bring in other levels of government, including the federal government. You know, I mean, they've really abandoned the scene. We have no national housing strategy. But we, the provincial government, need to take a leading role, bring them to the table.
What is your view on the Enbridge Northern Gateway Pipeline project?
Well, my view is the same of that of the government. We have decided that there are 5 conditions that must be met in order for the Enbridge pipeline to go along. Those have to do with environmental assessment, safety, consultation with First Nations, etc.
Decades, we've had all governments, in provincial governments, federal governments, adhering to the ban on supertankers transporting oil on the west coast of Vancouver Island. And then all of a sudden, this proposal comes, and we seem to be forgetting what we've all agreed, that we do not want to jeopardize our coast or the northern part of British Columbia.
What are your plans to help troubled youth in your constituency?
Troubled youth, you may also be referring to such things as mental health or drug addiction. I think it's really important, and I think one of the issues in the past is that there's been a bit of a division between mental health services and drug addiction services. Though we're starting to see those two now come together, and I think that will be a key for our future.
Now, as MLA, I have started the Youth Focus Committee. We have had 2 meetings, MLA Advisory Committee, as it's called. We have young people from Anmore, Belcarra, Port Moody-Coquitlam that get together and try to make recommendations, try to give views on how to help young people. I think that helping young people is a job that we as individuals, as governments at different level, have to take very seriously. They are our future.